In late December, the FDA approved Enfortumab Vedotin for the treatment of refractory urothelial carcinoma. The approval was focused on patients who had prior immune therapy as well as prior chemotherapy. So this is the third-line treatment for metastatic bladder cancer. As we know, Enfortumab Vedotin is an antibody-drug complex where the antibody recognizes Nectin-4, which is almost ubiquitously expressed on the surface of bladder cancer cells. This antibody will deliver MMAE, which is an antitubulin agent, and this agent causes cytotoxic activity. The study that led to the approval of Enfortumab Vedotin is a phase 2 trial, which basically demonstrated that patients had a 12% complete response rate with Enfortumab Vedotin, and approximately 40% of patients overall responded. This response was seen in patients who had prior checkpoint therapy, in patients who had liver metastases. In fact, we have patients who are now really several years out after the treatment of with Enfortumab Vedotin with liver mets and having complete responses. But the response rate in liver, the response rate in visceral disease is about 40%, so it seems to be the same across the board. Side effects with Enfortumab Vedotin include neuropathy, urinary tract infections, rash, and diabetes. So these side effects need to be carefully monitored. So in summary, Enfortumab Vedotin is now an FDA-approved treatment for those patients who've had prior checkpoint therapy and prior chemotherapy. Of note, which is slightly different than the phase 2 study, this does not require a patient to have either metastatic or treatment for metastatic disease or neoadjuvant therapy. The chemotherapy can be in any of those particular disease states. So it's one form of chemotherapy, one checkpoint inhibitor, and then you're eligible to receive Enfortumab Vedotin. And there are now trials that are moving this drug up front for platinum-ineligible patients as well as for patients who have had or in the neoadjuvant setting as well as first-line metastatic disease.